Hey everyone, welcome back to MNMMPT NAATI YouTube channel. This is Manmohit. In today's video, I am going to share with you all about best way to practice NAATI Punjabi this time. There would be another video coming on Saturday which would be in regards to best way to practice NAATI Hindi and NAATI Gujarati, which would be covered by Mohit. So do stay tuned, and also if you're not subscribed yet, do consider subscribing so that whenever that video is up, you straight away get notified about it. So in today's one, I'm going to share with you all about what's the best way to practice NAATI Punjabi in the shortest time frame possible, so that even if your exam is after a couple of weeks, or even if it's after a month or so, or even if it's just on the brink, let's say you just got a week or so with you, you still have a basic study plan, a proper, I would say, roadmap with you as to this is how you should be practicing NAATI Punjabi in the shortest time frame possible. So the best way to deal with NAATI Punjabi would be, since we know that there are going to be 2 dialogues that would be coming in the exam, in your practice part, the best way, or I would say when I used to practice and what worked for me, is always make sure that vocabulary is one thing that is non-negotiable, that even if you feel that you do not have enough time in your day, or if you do not have any extra time available with you to practice NAATI Punjabi, vocabulary is something you just can't negotiate. Even if you give 15 minutes every day, it's enough, but then it's something zero, it's something more than zero at least. So you just can't take vocabulary for granted. And I'll tell you one thing, people struggle in NAATI exam is because of their control and command over the vocabulary is not strong enough. Because think about it, you have to translate whatever the speaker spoke almost instantly. Yes, you do take notes, but within 5 seconds you have to start speaking out the complete segment. So if you do not have a great control over the vocabulary part, it's game over. Because if you do not know what's the translation of that word is, you anyway can't, or you anyways won't be able to just convert that entire segment into the other language. So that's my tip number 1. Make sure you give at least 15 minutes to 30 minutes every single day on vocabulary. And this is how I used to start as well. Whenever you start preparing for NAATI Punjabi, never just jump straight to the dialogue. Take all the vocabulary that you have with you, start reading it out, start memorizing, just put your hand on one side, start speaking it out. And in relation to that, my second tip would be memorize or practice vocabulary both ways. I've seen people, what they do is they'll read out the English word and then they will memorize the Punjabi of it. But the only reason people struggle in the exam is when there is a Punjabi segment and you have to speak out the English of that, since you haven't memorized the vocabulary in that way, your brain will not be able to give you the translation of those words instantly. So always make sure that you practice and memorize the vocabulary both ways. You should be able to speak out the Punjabi word of that English word straight away. Same goes the other way around. You should be able to speak out that English word of the Punjabi word straight away. This is how you should be memorizing your vocabulary. Now, once you have given 15 to 30 minutes to your vocabulary, the remaining 30 minutes, so I'm talking about if you're able to give minimum 1 hour to your NAATI Punjabi every day, that's as a bare minimum, which should be enough. But if you can spend more time on that, that's just the best. But minimum 1 hour I'm deciding, minimum 1 hour I'm planning, so that I can make sure 15 to 30 minutes are going towards my vocab and the remaining 30 minutes are going towards my dialogues. Or I would say in dialogues, my main task is always going to be note taking. Now, you might be thinking, okay, for practicing NAATI Punjabi, I need to grab the NAATI Punjabi exam and all that. That's okay. We would come to that prediction file and all those exam dialogues very soon. But since you are preparing for your NAATI exam, your first job is to just practice in a way that you will not be even expecting in the exam. My point here is, pick any movie or any TED talk or any article at all in terms of science or any education related material over the internet, or just simply go to YouTube and search for TEDx or TED Talks, and whatever video comes in front of you, simply play that video and start taking notes of those English segments or English dialogues that they would be speaking. Just play the segment for 5-7 seconds, take notes of that and try speaking it out in Punjabi. Now, there might be certain words which you may not be aware of what you call them in Punjabi, but that's perfectly fine. Just speak out whatever you can out of the complete English segment into the Punjabi, and that would be a great practice for, let's say, 5 to 10 minutes. Now, why am I asking you to do this? It will help you in your note taking practice. It will help you to increase your speed in the note taking. And that's the only reason we are doing these TED Talks and TEDx, because that will just help you to enhance your speed in the note taking part. After that, the remaining 20 minutes, I want you to straight away jump on the exam dialogues. Now, the reason I want you to practice exam dialogues is because NAATI do repeat the dialogues every now and then. And there are certain dialogues which NAATI is aggressively repeating from last like 4 years. And the reason is, just think about it. It's not like PT where they can just start creating new questions every single day. NAATI material preparation requires a lot of time, energy, and effort. And human. PT, computer based exam, a lot of computer systems and all that are used. In NAATI, it's purely dependent upon humans. So since there's a lot of labor, a lot of material, a lot of resources, energy, money, everything is required, they really can't afford that much to just go towards creating new dialogues in every single exam. So I'm not saying they just are using the same dialogues from last 4 years. They do use new dialogues, but they do repeat few dialogues every now and then. And I've got so many students who won at least one dialogue, or maybe even if they get lucky, both of the dialogues are getting repeated. So if you do want to grab that prediction file of us, just send us a message on Instagram or Facebook. The name is literally M&MMPT NAATI, or you can even just go to the description of this video, click on the links and just send us a message in regards to the NAATI prediction file, and we can just get in touch with you. And obviously then we can take the conversation ahead, charges, like how much is it and all that. We can discuss that in detail. So we do have the file for NAATI Punjabi, NAATI Hindi, and also NAATI Gujarati. Now, once you have those exam dialogues with you, since you have got 20 minutes, here, your main focus is to properly take notes and also speak out the answers straight away, and practice these exam dialogues in 20 minutes as many times as you can. Most probably you would be able to do it twice or thrice, but do not memorize, but start speaking out the answers as many times as you can. Even if you start repeating out these exam dialogues after a while, that's perfectly fine. Like I said, there is a huge chance that you will be getting the exam dialogues repeated. So take it in this way. The remaining 20 minutes should purely be spent upon exam dialogues. Take notes so that your note taking practice is also done, and also start speaking it out so that your fluency and pronunciation is also maintained alongside. And like I said, there's a high chance of dialogues getting repeated. And if you end up getting the same dialogue in the exam, that would be the icing on the cake because you have already done it so many times. So this is what I wanted to discuss with you in regards to NAATI Punjabi, as in what should be the best way to practice and what should be the best approach, so that within the minimum amount of time, you can still just make it as productive as possible. Do watch this video again and share it with your friends. Take notes so that even if your exam is after a week or a month, you know exactly what should be the process that you should be following, so that you end up clearing this exam. Trust me, it's a very expensive exam. You don't want to sit for this exam again. It's boring, it's expensive, so you have to get this done on the very first attempt. If you have any sort of questions, do leave them in the comment section below, and I'll try my level best to answer all of you as quickly as possible. With that, I'm done with this video. All the best if you have got your exams coming soon. Take care, stay safe wherever you are. I'll see you guys in the next one.